Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Pursuit Live. I'm your producer, Chris, back in the chair. Happy to be back in the studio once again. Joining me, as always, is your creator and the co-host of Pursuit Live, Mr. Dave Hawkins.
That's right. What's up, killers? What's going on? Happy Friday night.
With the What's Up Killers.
There you go. I did that for you.
So joining us tonight is, I know we always say it, but I think this is a good show. We have Miss Kaylee Cavallo, champion Youth Archer, with us, and UBNJ member. And tonight, I think we have a special. I think we got a special night for everybody. So, Kaylee, thank you for joining us.
Of course.
So, I know we've been putting this off, and I apologize for everybody because there was scheduling issues. We couldn't do everything on time. So, tonight is the drawing of the 2025 Pursuit Live Bow Raffle to benefit United Bow Hunters of New Jersey. All right, we will be drawing the ticket towards the end of the show. And I'm happy that Kaylee's here as a UBNJ member to help us do this. Barrett is joining me in the studio. Say hi, Barrett.
What's up, guys?
Because I can't draw the ticket myself. We can't do that. So Barrett's going to draw the winning ticket tonight, and we are going to call the winner live on air. I don't know. I'm kind of excited for it. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready for it. So listen, if you want to buy your last minute tickets and you message me during the show, maybe
I don't know about that.
Maybe we'll think about it. But
yeah.
All right. No, we are we're looking forward to doing this. This has kind of been a long time coming, and I'm sorry we had to put it off for a little while. But here it is. We're ready to go. So, Kaylee, Dave, what do you guys think? You want to hop right into this?
Sounds good to me. You ready, Kaylee?
Yep.
All right. So, like we always do, in the first segment here, I normally take the reins, and we want to talk about the guests that we're having on, but mainly, we want to talk about their background, what got you into the woods, what got you fishing. Obviously, you're already a pretty well-rounded outdoors woman in your early stages of your hunting career. Let's start with the hunting aspect first, and then we'll go into the tournament shooting. So it seems like you obviously come from a hunting and fishing background. Would that be accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. Who is that person that got you out, like either in the woods or out fishing? Is that your dad?
Oh, my dad did. Yeah.
Okay. As far back as you can remember, what really got you interested? Was it more the hunting, the fishing? Was there a certain experience you had with your dad? We're like, wow, I really want to try this.
It was just one day we were walking around, I think, Bass Pro Shops, and he asked me, like, would you want to start hunting? And I said, yeah. And we started watching hunting videos. Nice. And then I went and bought my bow, and I took the test and passed, and that was it, pretty much.
Nice. What was your first bow? Is that the one you're using now?
Yeah, it was a PSC.
Nice. See that, Chris? Real quality shooters shooting PSC. Good choice, Kaylee. That's what I shoot.
Everybody's got to start somewhere, Dave. Eventually, we all grow up and buy Matthews.
Your bow, I'm sure, is light years ahead of mine, Kaylee. My bow is like 12 years old, but it's still shooting. But no, it's good. I like PSC, so this is just a joke on the show. So obviously, you're a little bit younger. And you are female. I'm just curious, what poundage is your bow set at right now?
40 right now. 40?
Okay. And that's very interesting because sometimes you hear people talking about where what is that range, that lethality range of having a compound bow and the draw weight. So I think right there, it's a testament to with enough practice, it really comes down to putting a good shot on it. You know, yourself at 40 yards, you harvested that beautiful buck. That was last season, correct?
Yeah.
You want to talk about that hunt a little bit? That was a beautiful buck.
So it was right after I got my license, actually.
Nice.
We went out, I think 3 days after, and we went out, and it was almost to the end where we were gonna grab the blind and just go home because we didn't see anything the whole time. So finally, when it's around probably almost 6 around there,
Late,
it
okay.
was starting to get dark, and we saw 3 does at first, and they were really scrawny. I wasn't gonna shoot them because they're just really small.
Yeah.
And then after the 3 does, the buck came out, and I just drew back and shot him. And it
Just
was
like that.
perfect. Yeah, it was a good shot right behind the shoulder, and he probably ran about 80 yards. And
Okay.
we found him in some briars.
Yep.
And yeah, that was.
Yeah, normally they're gonna want to try and find, you know, in my experience, they want that thick, that nasty. If there's a swamp nearby, that's you know, when they're running for their life, they want that real dense cover. That's where they feel safe. Obviously, that's where a lot of your bedding areas will be as well. So were you able to see him drop or you heard him drop?
No, because he ran down a path and then took like a right where it was just a bunch of bushes and everything.
Okay.
We didn't see him, so
All
that
right.
was a little nervous waiting for him, but
Sure. Honest answer. Did you have buck fever while you were standing there at full draw?
well, afterwards, because
Okay.
I was actually kind of surprised. I thought I'd be shaking when I saw him,
Mm-hmm.
but I just drew back, like, and then afterwards I was like shaking after I shot
You
him.
did the whole look, Brian. Is he down? Is he down?
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. So, what type of broadhead were you using?
I'm not sure. It wasn't the ones that open up. It was just like the fixed
Fixed blade.
ones. Yeah.
Nice. Good for you.
Another win for
Okay.
fixed blades.
That's it. That's it. So, did you have a good blood trail to work off of?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
we didn't really see anything at first, and then once we like really started walking closer to, we saw.
Okay. Now, did you have any experience before that, like going out with your dad and actually working a blood trail? Or was this your first time?
No, this was my first time.
Okay. So, did you have good blood? Did you have like dark red blood, or was it like lung blood and bubbly?
I'm trying to think. I think it was good, like a dark red
Okay.
when we were seeing it, yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Good. So, all right. So you're working the blood trail, and obviously you close the distance pretty quick. Just what's your first thoughts? You know, obviously as a young hunter, beautiful buck. You know, what's going through your mind at that point?
I couldn't believe it because I just wasn't expecting like on my first sit out there that I'd actually shoot something.
Yep.
And I mean I couldn't believe it when I was going. I was really shaken afterwards. And it took
I'm sure
me a
your
little
dad was
bit,
shaking
yeah.
more.
Yeah, it took me a little bit, but
Yeah.
I mean I still can't believe it. Like my first sit out there that I would shoot something.
Yeah. Well, I hope it doesn't spoil it because I promise you, it doesn't always happen that quick.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it did for you. All right. So now that leads us into your first field dressing. How'd that go for you?
I'm good. My dad actually did it for me. I mean,
You didn't do it?
No, I stood there. I held the legs for him and everything, but he was
Okay.
the one doing it for me.
Hey, honestly, that's a big help because those real legs, they do get in the way sometimes. So that's a big help. All right. Well, we'll get you on your next year. We'll get you a field dressing one. That's the next step. All right. So that tackles one of the awesome animals you got down. Turkey was next, right?
Well, pheasant and then turkey.
Oh, you got the pheasant. All right. So let's talk about the pheasant hunt then.
So what I did the youth one at Assunpink.
Okay.
So I went with a mentor, and there was 2 other kids with me, and we
Very
all
cool.
ended up getting one.
Nice.
And it was like where they stocked it, so they go out and then they stocked it, and we'd go out and like the dogs would obviously find it.
Yep.
And it was a lot of fun. I like how they had it set up, and at first I kept missing, but then finally. Because the 2 other kids got one before me, and then I finally got one. So
Okay.
it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, well, they wait to the last minute to jump up on you. You know, that's their defense mechanism. So that's they're doing their job. So how were the dogs? Did the dogs do a good job?
Yeah, they did a good job.
Nice, cool,
A couple of them, they got a few of them, but they did good.
nice, very cool. Are you gonna get? Did you happen to get it mounted, or it was just in the
No.
moment? Okay,
I did get some of the feathers though that I'm just gonna put in like a shadow box thing and set up with like a picture and everything.
nice, very cool. All right, so let's bring it into the turkey hunt.
Um, the turkey hunt, so we started off in this like big open field, and it was around. I had to get up at like 3 in the morning because
Yeah,
it was an hour away,
yeah,
and that I really enjoyed because at first we didn't see any toms yet, but we saw one hen, and then they were doing the calls, and I thought it was really cool how they were calling back.
yeah.
And then we saw 2 other hens at that spot, but we weren't really seeing too much, so we ended up moving and going to another spot, and they did the call, and we didn't see anything there, so then we went to another spot, and still nothing, so then I'm trying to think, we probably went to 4 or 5 other spots, and then finally we went to the spot where we saw 2 toms across the street, and then we came back to and the spot was kinda, like, in the woods, um, and, I'm trying to think. Yeah, it was, like, in the woods, and I went up, and I was just staying up against a tree there, and finally I saw, like, a big tom come in, like, his feathers all puffed out,
Yep.
behind some and I was a little scared taking this shot because, he was behind all these briars and big bush, I couldn't really see him at first, and then finally, because it was a mentor hunt, and my mentor was like, "Shoot him," so I just turned, I aimed, and I shot him, and
Nice.
I didn't really have to guess, but it was really hard to see him because he was behind all these bushes,
Right.
but
Okay.
yeah.
So nice. One shot and he went right down.
Right
No
there.
chasing him. Good. Perfect. That's the way. Sometimes with turkey hunting, it gets a little eventful. We'll say it's not always one shot and done. So that's good. One
Yeah.
shot's the way to do it. All right. So I think I'm going to transfer now. We definitely want to talk about UBNJ. There's been a lot of talk about that. They've been very supportive of us with the show early on. You know, we try and support them anytime we can. With you being a member yourself, what got you interested, to want to become a member? And if you can, if you don't mind, explain a little bit what UBNJ actually offers to the outdoor community.
Yeah, so, originally, it was my dad asked me if I wanted to sign up for this and
Hmm.
sign up for a team, and I was really interested. I watched some YouTube videos about, like, the competitions. I thought it was really cool, and we went and we signed up for it, and, trying to think, my first it's a really good team. Become some close friends with the team and
Good.
everything. And it's nice because I have a membership. I could go whenever I want and practice shooting.
That's nice.
And when I first got there, I think they had a 3D shoot, and that was my first 3D shoot, so I didn't really know what to expect. But I liked how they had it set up, and it was a really fun time when I
Nice.
was there.
How'd you do at the 3D shoot? It's a little different.
Yeah, it was good. I did pretty good at it. I was a
Okay.
little nervous because it was my first time. I didn't like really know what to do, but it was
Yeah.
fun.
Do you think you would consider yourself like a better paper target shooter or a 3D shooter or a hunter? Where do you think you're most accurate?
Um, Probably paper,
Okay.
I think. Um, yeah, paper. I think I do better on paper.
All right. I mean, Chris, that's one thing I've noticed. Like when we did the 3D shoot at a forum, one of the things I realized that was different was the indoor lighting. Like I've never really shot a lot, inside, besides like a couple like close 10-yard shots, just trying to sight in. Um, it got tough at some points to those targets that were at like 28 yards and you're dealing with LED lighting. It was something I realized that was different.
Well, something that I've noticed about 3D shooting is the targets never have the
Excuse me.
the area that you would instinctively aim at if you were,
Gotcha.
say, shooting at a deer. The 10 ring is
Right.
not really where you would instinctively aim on a deer for a good, pass through kill shot. So you find yourself kind of battling like, okay, I need to aim where the target wants me to go,
Right.
not where I should shoot. So I would agree, like paper shooting is so much easier because the X is there. That's where I need to aim. Where if you're looking at a turkey target, a bear target, a deer target, a Cape Buffalo target, you instinctively know where you want to aim. And it really is a challenge to say, no, that's not where I need to aim. I kind of need to stare at this animal, look at the rings, and figure out my shot placement from there. So it is tough shooting indoors. You are right about the LED lighting. It's definitely something different. And I don't know, I find myself shooting better often. I'm 100% in agreement that shooting a paper or a regular bag target, I can stack arrows compared to a 3D target where you're fighting that instinct.
Mm-hmm. No, it's definitely true. I haven't done it a lot, but I think I've done 2 now. So I don't know. It stuck out to me. Did you experience anything like that, Kaylee? You obviously do an extensive amount of shooting. Most of it's indoors, I would assume.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I mean, you might just be used to it at this point, but have you noticed that at all, like shooting indoors as opposed to outdoors? Anything with your pins?
It's definitely a little different shooting outdoors, like you said, the lighting and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and just like, depending on like the ranges and.
Okay. What type of release are you using? Like, do you really dive in, like with the gear? Are you like a gear junkie, let's say, in the archery world, or not yet? Do you
Not
just use a
really.
regular strap release, or do you use a thumb button?
I use the thumb because
You do?
originally I was using the strap, but
Mm-hmm.
because like I kind of have like the small hands that my
Okay.
finger wasn't really reaching, so I barely get it, and I do so much movement that it would go up or side to side or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up switching to the thumb, and I like it so much better.
Nice. What brand thumb release are you using?
Oh, I don't know that. I'm not
Okay,
sure.
that's all right. No problem. So that's actually something that Chris is actually trying to work me into. I'm still using an index release. But one thing I caught myself doing, and the infamous shot we have on camera, I completely was ripping to the side. I wasn't.
Well, it wasn't even to the side; it was down.
Was it? Well, I thought it was to the right. It was down.
You were shooting, and not to interject on a whole different path here, but one day we were up at camp, and I was filming Dave hunting, and as I was watching him shoot, I could see he was doing something wrong. So I actually played back the footage for him, and once I showed him, he was pulling, but instead of like punching the trigger or coming back, it was like he was coming down like this. It was just like, Dave, what are you doing?
I didn't know either. It's very humbling when you put a camera on yourself.
I don't think it was the release. I think it was the bow.
Oh, now it's the bow. It's not human error.
So it might have been the shooter and the bow. It definitely wasn't the release.
I mean, that's an interesting thought right there. Like when you practice, Kate, do you film yourself at all to check for form and then play it back?
I did because when there was something going on with my bow, we did the paper to see what was going on. Like we put paper and I shot through that to see. And I did video to see what was wrong with it. And I did catch myself, like sometimes I'd punch it, and then that's what was thrown off too. So I feel like with the thumb release, it's so much better because that's kind of one less thing I have to worry about.
Okay. That's definitely, I've heard the same thing. It's more of and it's also more of how it sets your body up. It's more of like an ergonomic stance where it's almost, I don't want to say impossible, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but the way your hand is now with a thumb button, it's almost like you can only come straight through, and it's almost like that back tension style.
Well, I will say, having shot a thumb for a few years, it's a little more instinctive, but I'm very prone to trying to open my hand up like this while I'm at full draw, where I need to be more like this.
Okay.
And even, I go to the bow shop, guys, they're starting to correct me, and it's
right.
It's tough because, instinctively I want to be like this. It's natural, as opposed to kind of being down a little bit more level, the same you would with a finger release. It's tough. I will say that the instinctive release when you hit the thumb, it definitely helps prevent punching, but just that torque on the D loop is something you got to look out for.
So, did you have any formal training or coaching, Kaylee, or is this just a result of you just really just having a passion for it and just constantly throwing arrows downrange and having the ability, through UBNJ to have that access, and it's just practice, and that's got you to where you're at?
A lot of practice.
Okay.
And when I first got my bow, the guy there, he kind of showed me what to do, showed me like certain things, like where my hand should go. And I also watch videos to kind of help out with that, like competition videos and stuff to help with that. But it's just a lot of practicing and seeing what works and what's the right thing.
Archer is one of those sports, because it is a sport, especially the target shooting world. You got to put the time in. It's the only way, without a doubt. So let's explain. Correct me, I don't want to use the wrong term, whether it's the division or the tournament style that you took first place in recently.
So that was at the UBNJ, like the place where I practice at.
Okay.
That was my first one. I was a little nervous for it, being it was my first one, but once I like shot a few, it was fine, because it's just like practice where I was practicing, because it's at the 20 yards, and from practicing there just a bunch of times, it just felt like I was fine with it.
Well, you still did good. I mean, how many people entered that one?
I'm not sure. Probably, I don't know the exact number. I'm not really sure, but it was a good amount of people.
Nice. Is that the one you got a Robin Hood? I saw a Robin Hood sticking out on your page there.
Oh yeah, that was, I think, my second one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's actually one thing I've never gotten yet. You got a Robin Hood at all, Chris? Target shooting?
I mean, I try not to.
They do get expensive.
It's cool the first time, and then the second time when you're like, man, I got to pay for new arrows now. Like, it was cool, but now it's okay. If I'm shooting that tight a group, especially on like a bag target or a paper target, all right, I'll try to space it out. Like, okay, I'll hit the X up here, I'll hit the X up here.
I don't have that problem yet. You know who's got a bunch? My dad. Chief's got like 3 or 4 hanging in the garage, Robin Hoods.
Yeah, but the Chief doesn't shoot a PSC.
That's true. That is true. You see what I got to deal with, Kaylee? It's all right. Yeah, I'll put my money on Kaylee. Kaylee could shoot for Team PSC. I'll be in the background. So, obviously you're doing very well. I'm going to ask a loaded question here. Who's the better shot at this point, you or your dad, if you got to put it on paper?
Me.
Nice. Good. Didn't even hesitate. Is your dad in the background there too?
No, he's upstairs.
Okay.
He's watching it. So.
Okay. I'm sure I know he gives you a lot of credit on the Instagram page, which we'll talk about at the end of the show. We'll give you guys a little plug. He's very proud of you. Every post he puts up of you can see, how proud he is of you. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is one thing I will say, as you get older and as you continue on this journey, all that time you get to spend, with whether it's friends or family. He actually just left a comment on here. She's way better than me. So he owns it. Very cool. That's awesome time spending together with your dad. And do you have any brothers or sisters or anything that go out?
Yeah, I have a brother.
Okay. Does he do any hunting or anything?
No, he's not into that stuff.
Okay. All right. So, that's something that you and your dad, you have that very special bond with. And all I'll say is just enjoy it. Anytime you get out there, it's just time spent together, and it's good. It's very good. And you'll realize that as you get a little older. It means a lot, especially to your dad. Producer Chris, what do you got, buddy?
All right. Now, Kaylee, I don't want to scare you, but I've been known to be the guy that asks the hard questions. So we're going to dive into a few things here, and I'm going to pick your brain. Now, number one, I ask every guest this. What are 3 things that you have to carry with you, other than your license or your weapon, but every time you go in the woods, what are 3 things you have to carry with you?
I'm thinking this. Probably Definitely a flashlight. I mean, it's simple, but I feel like I have to have that. Especially
Absolutely.
my last turkey hunt when we were going out there, it was dark in the morning. So, and then I'm trying to think what else. Probably a fixed blade knife or some sort. I feel like, yeah. And then that's two. So one more. Probably. I don't know what else. I'm trying to think. That I feel like those are like my two main ones.
Okay.
That I feel like I have to bring. I guess if I'm with I guess if I have my bow, my release, I guess too. I mean,
That'll
that's
work.
what I think
Yeah.
of like
We'll
my
accept it.
main ones.
Well, I mean, we've talked about it too. Do you have when you're hunting, do you have a backup release that you bring with you?
Yeah, so I have my thumb one and I have my like the
Okay.
index finger
So
one.
that'll work. That is definitely something. Again, as you continue your hunting journey, I don't wish it upon you, but I think it's just inevitable. You're gonna have that night where it's like, oh crap, I left it in the truck, or
Mhm.
I dropped it out of a tree. I don't want to climb down. So having something simple just as the backup release definitely will at least once come in handy. I would say.
No, that happened one time where I forgot my thumb release
Mhm.
but I did have my index one in my backpack.
There you go. Good.
So that was good to have.
Good.
No, it's definitely not a wrong. Listen, I carry in each of my bino pockets on either side of my binos. I carry a thumb release in each of them just in case. And then there's Dave over there who carries 6 different releases and 2 in the truck and 1 in his pocket, 1 on his bow and 1 in his binos and 2 at the house, and he leaves 1.
If I forget all 3, I don't belong in a tree that night. That is God telling me do not go 20 feet up in a tree if you forget all 3 releases. Kaylee, have you gone down the road of like downloading Onyx or another e-scouting? Have you learned like how to like dissect like a topo map yet? Where are you at with that stage of the game, like scouting wise?
I did download it, but I didn't really go too in depth of like having like the
Okay.
app and scouting and stuff.
All right. Is that something you think you're interested? When you're ready, you'll just come with it because it is, there's a lot. It is amazing what is offered as like the e-scouting world. But when you're able to when you can get to the point where you can look at the app, maybe look at some elevation changes, and then like if it's public land, actually go out and actually connect it to it really does help as a hunter, and that's when you're really gonna, especially you already seem to have a good grasp on it. That's like, all right, maybe there's a bedding area here, or there's going to be a deer run here, and that's really when you can start planning your attack almost.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another fun aspect. We are lucky with all this technology we have. It's it's amazing what's at our fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you at the good old world of YouTube. What's that?
Dave, you're making me feel really old right
What?
now. Because I'm the guy that's still out there that catches crap because I'm the one guy carrying a lensatic compass because I've had all my technology fail on me and I got lost one. So I'm like,
no, I'll never. That is one thing. Chris's his third one is always well. Let's see. You're relatively new out of Hunter's Ed, Kaylee. Did they teach you how to read a compass at all? Like an actual take a map reading with a compass?
No, I didn't get taught that.
Okay. You see, like we've had talks that should be, because what if you don't have service or your phone dies?
Mm-hmm.
Being able to take an actual compass reading, I think, and maybe some. Do they do any basic first aid at all? Like if you get a bad cut?
No, I haven't learned about that stuff yet.
Well, maybe we talk to UB&J. That's all topics, for new hunters. We can help them. Not necessarily. I'm not certifying any of it, but maybe that's something that could be like an extension of, Hunter's Ed or whatever it's called now. It's basic, principles like that where you might encounter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you think, Chris?
Listen, these are some things that I was taught. I mean, granted, that was 24 years ago at this point. So.
Get old.
But yeah, I listen. Times change, and you need to adapt with them, and I understand that. But it is these are some basic skills.
Right.
And do I think that it would add benefit? Yes, but I don't want to spend too much time going down that road. So
No, but it just I hear it. And I'm like, I just feel like it's like some of the stuff kids are learning in high school. Maybe they should learn about some other things instead of what they're teaching them, some real life. But we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. I promise. We're not going to bore Kaylee with school. I do have a question for you,
stay in
Kaylee.
school, kids.
Yeah, that's it. You've had early success as a hunter. I'm going to focus this question into deer woods. What's something you want to improve on in your deer hunting for next season?
Probably with like the calls, like when having like a grunt call or whatever.
Okay.
I want to start doing that myself because when we were out there, my dad was doing it, but I want to start working on like doing that and
Okay.
now.
Yeah, and again, like anything else, that takes practice. Like, and then especially turkey calls, if you want to learn how to use a mouth call or the diaphragm calls, without a doubt, that takes endless and countless hours of practice. The way I learned how to use a mouth call with a turkey was I would keep them in the truck while I was driving, and as crazy as I look sitting in traffic, I'd just be blown away on a turkey call, having people stare at me. But you know what? That's the best time to practice. You're not bothering anybody else in the house.
Yeah, I was practicing mine the other day when I got one after my first turkey hunt. I was practicing the mouth call for the first time, but I did actually end up getting it. But it sounds all right, but I have to practice it more.
I tell you what, everybody's so conscious about what they sound like with a mouth call, and then you hear real turkeys in the woods. You think the real turkeys are 100 sometimes. We get so caught up about like what we're hearing on TV, and in my opinion, keep it short and sweet. A couple of yelps, couple of clucks and purrs, and that'll work just fine. I think even Chris will give me credit. I'm pretty good with a mouth call. I think I shocked him how good I was. You won't even give me a little credit. Don't lie.
I don't use a mouth call, so I'm not.
I know you don't. Chris has got a built-in mouth call. I'll give him that. It's pretty good.
So,
right.
I do want to ask you a couple more questions, and I do want to get into this now. As a young hunter, what do you prefer hunting on the ground? And this is specifically more for deer. Do you prefer hunting on the ground, or do you prefer hunting out of a tree?
So I haven't hunted out of a tree yet. Me and my dad are gonna try that next season because we did get a deer stand that we're gonna put in across from our ground blind. I do like hunting from the ground, but I think the tree might be better because you kind of could see more. You could see like what's coming from behind you, what's like from different directions, and you're higher up, obviously.
Yep.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a question way out in left field. Now, as a young hunter, if I were to tell you tomorrow that you can only hunt one animal, you can only go on one hunt, and this is the hunt that you have to repeat every year for the rest of your life, what is your dream hunt, and what are you going to do for the rest of your life?
So I can only do like this one hunt for the rest of my life?
Whatever you pick now, that's all you get to do for the rest of your life.
Oh, I don't know. Because I really want to go elk hunting, but also like I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know what it's like, or just whitetail, like deer hunting. So maybe probably whitetail deer, because I haven't really tried anything else, so I don't know what it's like. But it's either that or elk hunting.
Okay. There is no wrong answer to that, so don't feel pressured with that. And now, simply because you're a young hunter, what do you really like? What kind of is that spark in your mind that kind of keeps you going? That motivates you. That says, I want. Not only did I get into this and I like doing it, I want to keep doing this. Like, really, what in your mind says I want to do this and I want to keep doing it?
Probably to see if I could beat the last one I got, like to see if I could get a bigger deer than what I just got, or like a bigger turkey. And I just like going out with my dad, so I kind of like going out with him. Just like I keep wanting to do that.
You're gonna find also that sometimes it's just that one, whether it's a mature doe or just this one buck that just constantly keeps getting your number, and then it's like that chess game you'll hear hunters talk about. and you'll have one guy or lady that's out there sit after sit, just trying to get this one deer, and finally, the hunter wins the match, and those are the types of encounters where it's just you have your whole the encounters you're going to have is endless, and that's you're going to start piecing them all together, and it's again every one that you can share with your dad, or the more you venture out on your own, even it's you're going to have a lot of fun. As far as the deer woods, I love it. That's the only thing I really hunt for. And especially with the bow, all the encounters are so close. You're bringing these deer in, out of however many hundreds of acres you're sitting on to bring them, let's say 50 yards or less. Like you're doing something right. These deer are very, very smart, especially a mature doe that's got a couple yearlings with her. Harvesting a mature doe, and we say this a lot, is a win. Don't ever, downplay or think less of shooting a doe. They are just as smart, if not sometimes a lot of times smarter, than some of these big mature bucks, depending on the scenarios. And at the end of the day, it's meat in the freezer. Do you enjoy venison? You try different recipes or anything?
Yeah, I like it.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know about like in your age group or even like your friend group, what do they think about what like the journey you're going on? Do you see hunting with people your age still being kind of popular, or is it kind of hit or miss depending on where they live maybe?
Depends. I think it's really where they live and like how
Okay.
they grew up. Because my one close friend, like I showed a picture, she's kind of like when
Yeah.
like seeing it.
Yeah.
But like if like people on my archery team, like they all love it and
Right.
like seeing it. So I think it really depends like where you grow up and like who, like if your dad likes or someone likes in your family.
Right. Okay. And that makes sense. I had one last question for you. What is your goal in the near future as far as like a tournament shooter?
Probably I really want to work on, because my first tournament, I only had like 2 X's, like right in the middle. But then my next one, I had 11. So I want to keep like seeing how, like how small I could get my group and just progressing with that.
Okay. Now, what's the difference now? Vegas style, this could be for you too, Chris. I forget. Vegas style is when you got the 3 bullseyes, right? And you got to get hit X on all. Okay. And now the one you were just in, was that one target each round, or was the same setup like the Vegas style?
It was just one big target.
Okay. Chris, we got 8:42. Anything else we want to dive into, or do we want to switch gears here?
I do want to dive into a few things. I mean, but I could sit here and talk hunting all night.
That is true. We have done it. It's been documented.
So Kaylee, I will ask you, as a PSE shooter, and this is a direct shot at Dave. If you had unlimited money, give me your dream bow setup.
I really don't know. I really like my PSC, so I don't really know if I would switch to anything else.
You stand fast, girl. You stand your ground. I got your back.
There's plenty of time. Test out as many bows as you want. We'll find one that works.
Because I was looking at another one, because the person who was working on mine also showed me another one that I really liked, but I stuck with mine because it was the first one I had. I shot my deer with it, so I just wanted to stick with it. Yeah. So.
Well, not for nothing. It is true though. You don't want to get stuck to the brand, but it is true. But I think the best advice I ever got from somebody when trying out bows is the grip. That bow needs to feel comfortable in your hand. We're all going to have preferences on something. I would say probably grip and draw cycle. Chris, would that be accurate?
100%. Because, and I'll give you a case in point. I'm 6'4", 250 pounds. I'm a larger guy. And when I was buying my first Matthews, or when I bought the V3, what was it, the V3X? Mm-hmm. I shot the 33, the longer axle to axle, and believe it or not, I shot the 29-inch, the shorter bow, much better. It felt more comfortable than the 33. I can't explain it. The guys at the bow shop couldn't explain it. I bought that bow. I killed a few deer with it, and it was I can't explain it. It's all about I have a saying, and this, I mean, I'm not the one that made it up, but it comes from everywhere. Shooter preference. That's what matters.
Absolutely. All right. I mean, I have all my notes crossed off. I think let's do it, man. This has been a long time coming. We got Kaylee here representing UBNJ. I mean, it's the perfect.
Before we get into that, Kaylee, I want everybody to be able to follow along with your adventures. Please tell everybody where they can find your content on social media so they can follow your adventures and your growth as a young hunter.
So on Instagram, my dad runs the account. We have M&K Outdoors, it's called, and same thing for YouTube. And I think my dad has a Facebook for it. So everything on like all the platforms is just M&K Outdoors. So you can look that up and find it. And yeah.
All right. There you have it. M&K Outdoors. So I guess this brings us to a moment of truth.
I know. I feel bad it took us this long to get it to put it together, but
listen, I do want to apologize to everybody. It did take us a while, and since Rob's not here, we're gonna lay everything on his shoulders. It was
good idea.
Please file all complaints with Rob because he's the reason why we have to push all this back.
I like it.
So what do you think, Kaylee? Should we draw the winner here?
Yeah.
Dave, are you ready for this?
Let's do it, man. And I hope the winner answers. That'll be great.
All right. So the moment everybody's been waiting for, I'm going to give everybody one more chance. Please share the show if you haven't already with your friends, anybody that entered. Now's the time. We are going to draw the 2025 bow raffle to benefit UBNJ. Not for nothing. We don't take money from this. The money that we were able to take in from this raffle is directly benefiting United Bow Hunters of New Jersey. I'm going to bring in our production manager, Rob, who happens to be, I believe he's a board member on UBNJ now, isn't he?
I believe so, yes.
So we're going to bring him in just to, this way everybody can blame him.
We could make this interesting. You could pull out like 5 tickets, and then Kaylee picks which ticket, like number 1 through 5, as they're laid out on the table.
Oh, I'm not picking the tickets, though. Barrett is.
Oh, Barrett is. All right. So Kaylee, you want to get some skin in the game? What do you think?
Sure.
You want to pick the actual winner?
How do we want to do this? Okay.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Hey, Kaylee, I'm Rob. Sorry, I'm just coming on now, but that sounds like an awesome idea.
I like that. As an official UBNJ member, I think that's a great honor for Kaylee. So what we'll do, whenever we're ready, we'll get Barrett on camera. He's going to pick out 5 tickets. We'll lay them on the table, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Kaylee picks 1 through 5.
Okay.
All right. If everybody's cool with that, Rob.
I made an executive decision on the fly. We're going to roll with it.
Listen,
Something happens.
We're going to allow it. Rob, if you could, thank you for joining us. Just kind of give a little bit of background on United Bow Hunters in New Jersey.
Absolutely. That's a good idea.
All right. So United Bow Hunters of New Jersey is an absolutely awesome organization. You don't have to be from New Jersey to join. One of the biggest, positives, one of the best things about UBNJ is that when you sign up and become a member for a year, you get a insurance policy. You get coverage. I believe it's over $1 million, or
it was a very substantial amount. Yeah, it was good.
So God forbid you ever have an accident. In New York State, we're covered under a law, but in other states, you go out of state, God forbid there's an accident, you're covered anywhere in the United States and Canada. They do a lot of different programs for kids. They do a lot of shooting. They do a mentor hunt. So it really is one of the best, organizations that we have up here in the Northeast for archery.
Yeah, it's actually $5 million policy. So
yeah,
we got some comments rolling in.
Yeah.
And like we've talked about with everything that I'm trying to do with urban pursuit and nuisance deer with homeowners, it's when I heard that way back when we did, the actual live originally I think it was with Brian. I was like, this is exactly what I need in my door knocking adventures, just to give maybe that homeowner that's a little on edge or doesn't fully understand like a hunting scenario, yeah, it'll give them that peace of mind. And that's what we're trying to do, is have positive interactions with homeowners. And if this could be a piece to my door knocking arsenal, by all means, supporting a great organization, that it helps me. So without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys ready?
I'm
Is
ready.
everybody ready for the moment of truth? We'll give it one more.
More shake. I like the ammo can.
That's it.
You're gonna pull 5, lay them on the table in front of me. I'll hold them up, and
Can you angle your camera down a little bit, or?
Well, I'm gonna put them on the table. I'll hold the tickets up, and then we'll go from there. So just pull them out one at a time, and just put them on the table. Don't show the camera either. Don't bend them.
I'm trying not to. I'm doing it blind, man. Come on, I'm trying.
No pressure, Kaylee.
Kaylee, you ready for turkeys or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get out yet or not yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I shot one.
Oh, very nice. You went out with your dad?
Yeah, and it was a mentor hunt, so mentoring my dad.
Oh, that's awesome. Listen, your father is very proud of you. I hope you know that.
That's what I was telling her. Yep.
You make him really happy, and that's important for a dad. Trust me. I got a little girl too, and I can't wait to do this stuff with her. So he's lucky to have you, and you're definitely lucky to have a dad like that.
Mm-hmm.
How many tickets you got?
We got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, I'll separate them.
Thank God you only had 5 and not 6. I'm like, these guys can't count to 5.
All right, so this will be 1,
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5. Pick a number between 1 and 5, Kaylee.
3.
Ooh,
3.
I like it. I like it.
Right in the middle.
And what's crazy is I can see them, so I already know who it is.
And the winner is?
The winner is Mike Nitre.
Wow. Congratulations,
All right.
Mike.
This is going to be an interesting phone call because
Yes.
I know he's a Hoyt shooter.
So Mike Nitre is actually he runs BD hunting. He's actually, his team is based out of New Jersey. So that's good. We got a little hometown cook in there.
Well, we're going to call him. Hopefully he's not at work.
Yeah.
Everybody.
He is a diehard. What is he? He's boat tech, right? Oh no, Hoyt. He's a Hoyt guy.
He's a Hoyt guy.
Yeah.
Mike.
What?
Hey, how you doing? This is Chris from Pursuit Live. How you making out tonight?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. I got some great news. You're live on the air with our audience at Pursuit Live. You are the winner of the 2025 Pursuit Live Bow Raffle, and you are the proud owner of a brand new 2025 Matthews Lift X bow, so you can finally throw that Hoyt in the trash.
No way. Well, first of all, not throwing the Hoyt in the trash, but thank you. I mean, I can't believe I won.
That's it. Well, I mean, we're actually kind of upset you're not watching the show right now, so we might redraw.
Let him know our guest Kaylee picked him.
I told Dave every Friday at 8 p.m. I'll never catch anymore because I'm always at work.
Well, we're glad that we were able to get you on the show tonight.
Oh my! Well, yeah. It's been forever since I've been on the show.
Well, now you're gonna have to come on because here you go. That's you.
Oh my God, I love it. There we go. You know what?
And we did something a little bit different this time, Mike. We actually picked 5 tickets out of the bucket, and then we had Kaylee, our guest tonight, pick a number between 1 through 5, and you were the one. So congratulations.
Dude, that is. I mean, I can't believe, dude. I need to play lottery.
You just hit the lottery.
Yeah, you kind of just
You just
did.
hit the lottery. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Oh, you know what it was?
Pursuit Live lottery. Now I gotta go pay the Mega
But Mike, I know you're not on the show right now, but I feel like I got to FaceTime you guys. This is why he won. Look at the hat Barrett's wearing.
So that's Mike's brand, Kaylee. BD hunting.
All right, so that's Mike, everybody.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's up, buddy?
There we go.
So there you go. That's our winner, Mike, right there.
What's up, everybody?
There's your winning ticket. But where am I? There it is.
Congratulations, Mike.
You're right. You know what? Now I have the Hoyt. Now I have the Matthews. We're going into 2025 season on a high note.
Well, listen, I'm not shipping it to you. You're gonna have to drive up here and come get it.
It twists my heart to get me over there to hang out, to drink and then have a sleepover.
Well,
Anytime.
well, there you go. We'll be up for a little while. So if you get in the truck now, you could probably be here by 10 o'clock.
Maybe I'm going to take a road trip right now. Call out of work tomorrow. We're going up to Chris's house.
Yup, you got to come now. And so this offer expires at midnight.
The
All right.
All right, Mike. We got to get back to the show. So congratulations again.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank
You
guys.
got it, buddy. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Dave, everyone there.
All right.
I'll talk to you guys.
Bye.
And again, we don't want to overshadow the fact what the whole reason why we started this. UBNJ, I know I mentioned it earlier. They've been super supportive of us on this journey we're trying to do with the show. Very early on, obviously, Rob, with all the connections you've had and built with them, it's just the relationship is growing together. We're here to support each other. This show worked out tonight. Kaylee, having you on, an actual member, and everything you've accomplished as an early hunter and outdoors woman. So it's just, I think tonight, whatever, it took a little while to kind of piece it together, but the way it came together was perfect. So,
Kaylee, thanks for coming on with us.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's greatly appreciated. And we look forward to being able to follow, your career and
Absolutely.
see where everything goes. But I'm gonna head out.
Good.
But you guys have a great night. Kaylee, thank you again. Mike Nitrite, congratulations. UBNJ, thank you for everything. And I'll talk to you guys soon.
Absolutely.
All right, Rob. Well, thank you for joining. So there you have it. I mean, we were able to convert a Hoyt shooter tonight. We were able to benefit a great organization. And, of course, Mike now joins the show. Now, all of a sudden, he wants to
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
now, all of a sudden, he wants to watch the show. But, no, Kaylee, thank you so much for being a part of that. This was, last year we put this on. We kind of started it, and it really it took off. So we're actually really glad that we were able to do this again and kind of give back to the community. So thank you for being a part of that. And, thank you to UBNJ for letting us put this on and help them out. Congratulations to Mike. And not only that, Kaylee, you're a winner too, because you were here and you helped out. I'm going to get your shipping information. We're going to send you some Only Bows gear. We're going to send you a bunch of t-shirts and hats and some stickers and all kinds of stuff.
Absolutely. We'll load you up
tonight, so don't worry about it.
Thank you.
So, all right, guys. I think that's a perfect way to end the show. I don't think there's anything more we can do besides that.
I mean,
otherwise we shoot ourselves in the foot. We're on here for 3 hours.
Yeah. I mean, that's wouldn't be the first time.
I know. So, I think that's that, guys.
Yeah, that's it. Again, Kaylee, but I didn't mean to cut you off, Dave. But if you could just tell everybody where they can find your content again and follow your journey in the outdoors.
MNK Outdoors on all socials. That's what the name.
Yep. So
Well,
we
there you go.
appreciate everybody's support week in, week out. We're having a lot of fun doing this. Just keep helping us. Help keep spreading that word. Definitely head over to the YouTube page, Pursuit Live. Hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything. It's on subscription. Just means you're following along. Chris and I, and obviously Rob, working very hard behind the scenes, along with Randy. It's a full team effort at this point. We're very dedicated to keeping the show alive. And again, we're very humble with where we're at, but we're having a lot of great success, honestly, reaching out to people, all calibers, just like Kaylee here. And we want to keep it going. And the only way we could do that is with everybody supporting us like you have been. So thank you. Again, I know we say it every week, but thank you always for the support. It means a lot.
I mean, I guess it means a lot. I appreciate it. I don't know if Dave.
I appreciate the hell out of it.
I don't know.
We're having fun.
I appreciate it because listen, we got into this to have fun. We're not trying to be anybody. We're just a couple of guys out here talking about the outdoors, and that's what it's all about the younger generation like Kaylee here, and that's really what matters. If we can do whatever we can do to give back and kind of ensure that this sport and this hobby stays alive, we're going to do it. So
absolutely,
that means converting Hoyt bow hunters to Matthews. Then, by golly, we're going to do it.
Down and dirty. Everybody that was on the YouTube page tonight commenting, thank you. I've seen all the comments coming through. Everybody that was on Instagram, we love it. That's what it's all about. So, thank you. Have a good night.
So, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kaylee, Dave. Great job, Rob. Thank you for joining. And John from UBNJ, thank you for supporting us and letting us put this on. We'll be in touch. Kaylee, we'll be in touch about your winnings tonight.
Yep.
I don't have to be in touch with Mike, obviously, because I know where he lives. But thank you to everybody who supported this raffle. Like we said, the proceeds directly benefit United Bow Hunters in New Jersey. Your dollars are going to work in the outdoors, so thank you. We appreciate it. John has been very vocal. Rob was very vocal. Kaylee has said it. Thank you for everything that you've done, and we hope we can do more to help out in the future. So with that, great job, everybody. Kaylee, thank you again. I know I can't say it enough. Dave, don't worry. One day you'll win.
We'll work on it.
You can retire the PSC and step up to a Matthews too. So with that, we'll see everybody again in another 2 weeks right here on Pursuit Live.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.